Yep.
And we're live.
Good evening, soccer fans. Welcome to Desert Vista High School for tonight's soccer showdown between the Desert Vista Thunder and the Perry Pumas. I'm Dan Salas, host of the Soft Red Podcast, and I'll have the play-by-play call tonight. Joining me in the booth is my partner, head coach from Phoenix College, David Cameron, bringing his great insight, perspective, and national championship energy. Tonight's game is being live streamed on the Soft Red Podcast YouTube channel, and we're excited to bring you all the action from under the lights here in Ahwatukee. Both teams enter the 25 season matchup with plenty on the line. Desert Vista, led by state championship coach Trent Elliott. He continues to battle through a competitive schedule, focusing on growth, defensive organization, and finding consistency as the season progresses. Across the field, Perry, coached by Jason Berg, has shown composure and depth this year, using a strong team chemistry and disciplined play. These two teams are Arizona's last three state champions. Last time they met, Perry earned a 4-2 victory in a high-tempo, high-energy competition. As soon as we get to kickoff here, we'll give you your starting lineups for the Perry Pumas. Let's go with in goal, Rain Gregory. Number 2, Max Trickle. Number 3, Brad Silsby. Number 4, Mac Bowers. Number 5, Basaha. Number 8, Luke Henderson. Number 11, Jacoby Franklin. Number 15, Miguel Gutierrez. Number 17, Christian Smith. Number 18, Carson Neiman. And number 24, Nick Sedaris. And for the home team, Thunder, in goal, Kagan Terrell. Number 4, Dalen Ware. Number 8, Kamani Grant. Number 10, Ian Habawe. Number 11, Yuri Rodriguez. Number 14, Dominic Chrissy. Number 18, Liam Kelly. Number 21, Derek Coppage. Number 24, Will Sherman. And number 28, Diego Duran rounds off the list of starters. And again, welcome to tonight's matchup, Desert Vista versus the Perry Pumas. Coach Cameron.
Yes, sir.
2 big-time programs here. Like I said, the last 2 state championships, Perry Pumas with back-to-back, and then last year, Desert Vista, the Open champions. What are you hoping to see here?
A long throw.
Right off the bat.
Yeah, a long throw. I think Perry has lost their long throw. They had this guy that could throw it like 50, 60.
That was the coach's kid.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
What a weapon.
I forget his last name, but he is, he's one of Jason Berg's assistants, and his son, the last time they had won was the kid. There's your long throw right off the bat. The shot on goal. There's your first goal in an offsides. He was in an offsides position. Not quite.
And from our vantage point, we couldn't really see the timing of it, but the AR was right with it, so I'm sure his decision was correct. That's why we need multiple cameras.
That's
Dan,
right. That's right.
and a cable modem.
You know, I had a chance to talk to both coaches. I'd say a pretty good amount. Yesterday, I had a chance to talk to Coach Jason Berg, and Perry had played in the Coyote Classic. Here's an opportunity here. In the Coyote Classic, and didn't make it to the finals this year. But again, their overall record right now is 4-1-2. But coming out of the Coyote Classic, it was a clear message to his team that, obviously the success of the programs past is not this season. And, he's trying to commit his players to playing with, the mentality of, hey, that was last year, this is this year. And it's been difficult because players step onto the field, and I think he had, 4 or 5 maybe just returning players that were part of the last championship 2 years ago. But again, kind of thinking like if they just walk onto the field, success is going to be there. And again, with here's a tough bad back pass, just couldn't finish. But again, Coach Trent Elliott had the same sentiment of, hey, we're coming as the defending state champions. However, a lot of the approach is not necessarily as committed as Coach Elliott and Coach Berg want their players. And again, the success of the both these programs is unbelievable. Last 2-3 years being state champions, and such new players coming into this match or into this season, hoping that they can be part of that success. But there's a lot of work that went into those state champions.
I think there's a clear expectation when you're wearing the either jersey, Desert Vista or Perry, that you're expected to do well. You're expected to win the final game. I know Perry's won.
Yeah, 2.
They have 2, and Desert Vista has like 6.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of championship vibe, if you want to call it that. The expectation is very high from not only the fans, but the high school itself, the student population, and the players on the field. And I'm loving the soccer already being played. It's very thought out. It's very dynamic already. Desert Vista's found their 10, and their 10s broke the lines a couple of times. One was offsides, but they're having a very dangerous attack. And both sides are using their goalkeepers, helping their ability to possess as well.
Yeah, and here's a junior, Jacoby Franklin, on the ball, captain for the Pumas. And Jacoby has had he was a major impact in both their state championships. One as a freshman, one as a sophomore, now as a junior. Again, like his impact on the game, he started his freshman year as their starting left back.
And that's a smart play for the Perry's coaching staff to find a way to have talent on the field versus keeping them on the bench, waiting for seniors to graduate, because he's probably not someone that would have started up front, but finding time from the back position to now he's a junior playing up front where he prefers to play, I'm guessing. So it looks like a penalty kick was called.
Yep.
And I believe the clock needs to stop.
Hurt his ankle on this one.
So that was an interesting tackle in the box. It looked like he got all ball, but it was from behind, which puts players in danger. But you have to, in my opinion, anytime you're in the box, stay on your feet, group defend, give your goalkeeper a chance. And now we're in a situation where your goalkeeper is facing a shot from a different area than it was just outside the 6-yard box.
And what's your thought on a penalty kick given this early in the match? Again, what's your thought on that? I mean, again, now he's set a precedent as the referee here, is that you touch some from behind. If that player goes down, that's
if it's a foul in his eyes, call it.
Yes.
Don't wait, call it. I wish we had multiple cameras, and I think hopefully we can grow to that at point where it wouldn't be that difficult to put cameras behind the goal to get a different vantage point.
Right.
And we need that to really have a proper discussion versus waiting to watch the YouTube channel again. But
it looks like
24 is taking the kick.
Yeah, 24. That is going to be senior Nick Sedaris. Again,
I'm going to turn this light off.
Yeah. There's a bit of a glare here up in the booth. Yeah, that works, Coach. And that's a goal. Goal for Perry. Nick Sedaris, 6 minutes into the game.
And it looked like Desert Vista's goalkeeper read it well. It just, the ball was placed perfectly right against the side netting. But it was a great place shot, and it was a great read by the goalkeeper, Desert Vista. He just got unlucky on that.
So dynamic changed pretty quickly here. We went from Desert Vista looking to have about 2 quality opportunities, one with an offsides call, the other just missed it. Bad pass back to the goalkeeper. Couldn't stick it away. So Perry strikes first. And this referee here is particular.
I'm a fan of officials that make a lot of calls. If it's a foul, call it, be consistent. And it keeps the game flowing in such a way that, soccer has to be played and aggression can't really manipulate the game. So hopefully we're going to see a lot of goals today.
Yeah.
Once the teams settle in and figure out what the calls are going to be and how the game's going to be played, because it's different every time depending on the officials.
Yep. Another detail in terms of this game is, you've got 2, again, high-quality programs. And each year, we talked about this at each of our games so far, but Perry High School and Desert Vista, the student body is definitely affected by the MLS Next programs. And this year, each school has benefited from the MLS Next program players. And so, Coach Elliott and Coach Berg talked about, that both of them having players that had an opportunity to play high school once, left for MLS, and are now back playing high school again. And so just that opportunity, again, Coach Berg definitely said, give me one chance for a kid to play high school soccer, and it'll make such a positive impact on them that they'll want to come back. And I think the same sentiment can be said for Desert Vista. With each team, each program's success, there is nothing like playing for that ultimate goal, that ultimate championship, and then cruising back to club soccer and almost missing what we're looking at right now. Under the lights, a handful of your friends on the crowd, noisemakers, all that stuff that goes into high school soccer.
It's definitely a different setting, and it's different in development because you need to play in front of real crowds, being on the center stage, like we talked about the last podcast.
Yeah, Mesa.
It's imperative for players to represent their school and to face their fans, the student body, and have that kind of pressure of you have to represent your school in such a way that you're not embarrassed. And the next level, it can be embarrassing because you're on TV or in front of 3,000-4,000. And in case of the NCAA Division I UW versus NC State. They broke a record. It was
packed. Did you see that?
It was over 10,000.
Wow.
How do you prepare for that? In our state, in every state, I was at the Desert Vista Washington State Championship game last year. There wasn't a seat available. I don't know what the capacity there is, but it had to be 3,000-4,000, no problem.
No problem.
And that's a good preparatory development that you're going to need. You have to have those experiences to keep expanding your game.
There's a good defensive play there.
But Desert Vista has a lot of pace.
Yeah.
And if the back line of Perry falls asleep at all, it could be trouble.
Yeah, and that defender is Eli Basaha. Eli's a sophomore, 6-foot sophomore, 170 pounds.
And there he is.
There's your opportunity again.
And
bang, goal, tied it up. Coach, you just called it. If they are not ready, that is number 11 for Yuri Rodriguez, sophomore. Buried it. Yuri's had a couple of opportunities so far this game, and that's, Coach, you've had two Nostradamus predictions so far. Lots of goals, and the speed of Desert Vista's front line.
Yes, you can see it on both sides. And I think both teams are probably adapting with all the new players coming back from MLS Next and still trying to figure out who plays where and get people proper time. So those early tournaments, tell us a little bit, but it doesn't tell the whole picture because there's probably a lot of changes on their rosters.
Yeah, and speaking of tournaments, Desert Vista had a chance to go to California, play 3 games in the Varsity Premier Tournament. And, again, they didn't win any games, 0-1 and 2, but Coach Trent Elliott said how valuable that competition is. It's not going to be your premier competition, even though it's called the Varsity Premier. It's not going to be the high level of the Servites, the Mater Days, those high end California teams. But again, it gave Coach Elliott an opportunity to learn some player combinations, to connect to opportunities, to, again, kind of develop a little bit of team camaraderie. I mean, you want to do that again at the start of the season if you can. But again, they go to these tournaments and they learn so much about the players, the connections from player to player, moments of games. There's so much that can be taken, again, from those tournaments. And then Perry Pumas playing in the Coyote Classic that Drew Guarini puts on.
It's a very intelligent thing to do as a coach, to set up your schedule as difficult as possible, especially in the beginning, so you can find out what your team's made of and put you in a place where you're experienced and you're ready for the next game. You have to fail in order to progress in this game or in life or whatever you want to call it. But I love how Desert Vista is willing to do that. And so a lot of kudos to the coaching staff and their willingness to go to California and change it up, even if you're down players because of the whole MLS Next activities that are going on.
Yeah. There's a gentleman by the name of Frank Zimmerman who puts on the SoCal Classic, and Frank's been doing this for so many years, and he kind of started that advent of teams going out to California and playing in tough competition. And Frank has, multiple tiers to his tournaments, like the Premier and the competitive, and then for some small schools. So
I like how Desert Vista is. They're settling into the game. They're finding their 10, who happens to be wearing jersey 10, as the back line of Perry drops off. And if he keeps getting the ball, it's going to cause a lot of problems with the speed that Desert Vista has. So I think Perry, if they can make those adjustments to shut down their 10 receiving the ball with comfort, it'll help them stop the penetration of Desert Vista.
It's good to see Jacoby Franklin back on the field for the Perry Pumas. Jacoby was the one that drew the foul in the box that gave Perry their first goal tonight from a penalty kick. And I believe Jacoby Franklin is another one of these long throwers, Coach. Yes, sir. I do remember him from the state championships. And again, Jacoby will put this on the back post. There it goes.
Beyond the back post.
Yeah. You know, I've seen multiple, throughout the start of the NCAA season, ESPN does show quite a bit. Every Friday it seems to be like they made a concerted effort to put on as many Division I program games as possible. And so many teams have implored the long throw. And then along with Premier League teams.
Yeah, worldwide.
Yes.
And Jacoby is causing a lot of problems, almost caused a own goal by driving to the byline and crossing the ball in, and Desert Vista cleared it out, but almost in their own goal. And there's goes Jacoby.
Goal.
Is that Jacoby?
No, the same guy. That is going to be, again, number 24, second goal of the game, scored by Nick Sedaris. Senior Nick Sedaris. Again, Nick was another one that was a freshman on the state championship team for Perry, played 2 years of MLS Next, and now is back. And what an impact he is making for the Perry Pumas. Coach, it might be 12-11 tonight by the time this is over.
What a fun game. It looked like it was developing in that way, and that makes our job so much better.
We not to say we had Pinnacle and Mason our last stream. Not to say that it was a boring game, but it was a 0-0 tie after 80 minutes. We then went to 20 more minutes of overtime, and we still got 0-0. So Coach T.J. Hagan and Justin Hughes over there.
Well, we're making up for it now, so we're getting all the goals now.
And again, we are streaming live here at Desert Vista in Ahwatukee, the Desert Vista Thunder against the Perry Pumas. And again, these are the three last state champions, with the Perry Pumas back-to-back in 23-24 and Desert Vista in last February of the first Open champs of 2025. Here's another opportunity here. Jacoby Franklin takes a shot on goal and just misses it wide right. For all of you Buffalo Bills fans out there. You know, Jacoby has been so dangerous driving at that speed and that pace at people. Do you think he should have taken an extra touch and driven at that last defender? I think if he does that, he really causes a problem rather than almost bailing out the goalkeeper.
Either way, I think he saw the goalkeeper off his line with the near post, and I think he had him. He just missed it. Of course, if he makes it, we wouldn't be mentioning it. So he'll probably get 7, 8 more opportunities. The question is, will he put it away, and how big will the Desert Vista goalkeeper come up? And you can say the same with Desert Vista. Perry's now dropping five defenders, which when you do that, you're dropping a midfielder, which creates a gap in between the back line and the 10. And that's where you can have this yo-yo effect where if you drop with 5 and the 10 is able to get the ball, it's going to force them to now press the midfield, and then that's where you'll see gaps in between the spaces of the whole back line that will be generated from that yo-yo effect, I call it.
I like that. The yo-yo effect. That's fantastic, Coach.
And this official, if he sees a foul, he's going to blow it, and I like it. Versus trying to, what if, and pull the whistle from his pocket to his lip and change your mind kind of thing.
Oh, those are the worst.
Make a decision, stick with it. I don't know who the center official is, but as of now, I'm really enjoying what he's doing. He's keeping things under control, and he's mic'd up. We need to somehow get into the mic of the officials.
There's a dangerous ball. That's a difficult ball to pull back there.
But you see how Perry, like, one player was able to bypass 5 defenders because of a great time run, and I didn't see which player made it, but the ability to have the composure, hold on to the ball, and wait for that time run to play it through changes the game. And here's similar.
Yep. And there is Jacoby Franklin playing left defender now, Coach. He went from playing striker, target forward, to now left back.
He has a ton of energy. The question is, are you able to manage it, that you're using it effectively when this game gets further and further down the road? And if he can run at that pace this entire time, that's going to present a lot of offers at the next level.
I'm going to tell you already, I've seen him play twice in 2 state championships. There's so much energy in that kid. And speaking of playing at the next level, one of the details Coach Berg said about Jacoby was, obviously he's had multiple opportunities to play the MLS Next, but he continues to play ECNL so he can play high school. He enjoys playing high school so much. Oh. He's had such a great experience and playing with his friends and being in under these lights. And he said, "No, I'm good."
Smart play. I mean, if he's been starting varsity since a freshman.
Yep.
And you can't. We talked about that last time too. You cannot be put in a situation. It's not often that you see it at the club level where you're playing up 4 years. That's huge development if you're able to do that.
So he's been playing against 17 and 18-year-old young men from the time he was 14.
What are you? And now he's playing left center back. He was playing up at left forward or 11 or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But utility players are invaluable. And he gets to kind of rest and organize things back there. And Desert Vista was causing a lot of problems
with their speed and pace up top.
Yeah, and Jacoby's making that a little more difficult. Yep.
Great coaching adjustment there by Jason Berg. There's a reason why he has 2 state championships.
Great development.
Yep.
He was playing in the back line as freshman, sophomore, and then now up front, and now he can play anywhere.
And I believe the first and second state championships, Coach Berg, and it's the name is escaping me right now, but he had this Arizona State Player of the Year. He played at Mesa for a year and moved on to, I believe, Benedictine. I'll have to look that up for everybody, but it'll come to me. And he had him for 2 state championships, and then he had a fantastic goalkeeper that is now at Rutgers. And that he was on his head for 2 state championships. And both won against San Luis, where San Luis went to the state championship 3 years in a row and came up empty-handed.
Yeah, I remember when you called one of those games. I was watching it, and it was against Perry.
Correct.
And San Luis was all over Perry in the beginning, but they couldn't put the ball away.
Yes. And they did everything, and Perry scored with about 6 minutes left in the first half, and it was you're right, the game ended up being 1-0. That was it. And it was a substitute from the left-hand side.
It's not a bad look. Now Perry's now starting to find those gaps between Desert Vista's drop-off with their back line, and they're finding little pockets that I think over time, if they keep doing that, they're going to see better time runs and more impact from their transition into the final third.
You know, and again, I think there's an identity that Desert Vista definitely has throughout the years. And Mike Raboska, who won the first 3 state championships for Desert Vista, started, and then Trent Elliott has kind of continued that mentality. And here's another long throw coming from Jacoby Franklin. Where it's just this tough mentality and again, like I don't know what it is, but Desert Vista always has good center backs. Center backs that kind of just are just consistent, big, and then they have these kind of like thoughtful midfielders, and then there's always the one attacking player that comes through here at Desert Vista. And I think both coaches, Coach Raboska and Trent Elliott, have taken, you keep using the term development. They take these players and put them in positions to be successful. And it just, again, that's the identity of Desert Vista soccer.
When I played at Shadow Mountain High School and we played Desert Vista back when Greg Vanny was over there, and who obviously has played on the national team and went on to UCLA. Kenny Wright was there, and Kenny played at UCLA as a left back.
Couldn't put it away. And now he doesn't call that. That's a difficult play. Coach Cameron, this is what you are Nostradamus tonight. You called, if he's going to play this, he's going to play all of this stuff.
And even though there's a lot of like frustration and this is, we don't want to see a brawl or anything like that, but the intensity is real. You need this, and it makes it more of a match, more of you don't see this enough. And I don't want punches thrown or anything like that, but I definitely want passion. I want the game to be as intense as the official allows, and I think the official's trying to get a hold of things and had a conversation. Hopefully he can maintain his rhythm of making specific calls to make sure this doesn't escalate. But I love the passion.
Yeah, that's a great point. He's got a difficult task right now, this referee. And I don't know if he's issued a yellow card. I don't. It seems like he's writing something down.
He may have. I didn't see it. But if someone's subbing, then we would know who received it.
I don't know what the call was. And again, he and we are just under 12 minutes. Perry Puma's up 2-1 versus Desert Vista. And I would say the last 3 to 4 minutes have been contentious. We've battled through a couple. We had a penalty kick 6 minutes into the match given. Desert Vista came back almost immediately, just put pressure, and they responded to that, tied it up, and then we had Perry again go up a goal off of a corner kick.
And the game's been up and back. Anyone's game, a lot of opportunities, both directions. What a great drop kick.
Yeah.
And that's what's great about East Valley soccer. There's so many rivalries, we'll say, just because they're always competing. They're so close and being neighbors, and they find each other a lot. Well, and I'm sure half of them are friends because they probably play in the similar club teams and stuff. But when you're wearing your school's colors, it's a little bit different.
It's a different feeling, that's for sure. By far, it's a far different feeling. Yeah, I think my days at Corona del Sol, our two biggest, definitely I would say our biggest rivals were Desert Vista, and then Brophy is a close second.
I mean, there's just so many great games with Hamilton, Desert Vista, Perry, Chandler, Corona del Sol. I mean, there's just so many.
You got Sasha Hunter at Chandler High. You know, he's had some down years in the past few, but there was a period of about, I would say, 5 to 7 years where Chandler and Sasha had something special. Here's another opportunity for Desert Vista. They had the Player of the Year in Sasha's, I believe, one and only state championship with Donnie Chalau. He ended up going to Oregon State, and they beat Brophy in their first state championship.
And I was actually color on that. So I was fortunate enough to be there and not call the game, but I was color. And I think it was Mike Caratanudo, maybe.
Oh, there you go.
He was doing the play-by-play.
Yeah. That was exciting because
And they played, by the way,
yeah,
the most beautiful soccer. And it's one of the few teams back then. I've never seen a team possess the way, Sasha's all about possession, even to the point of losing, of just trying to possess. It was the first team I've seen in high school to actually possess in a game and win the whole thing.
With purpose, yes.
Yeah, it was so fun to watch.
And he had a number of players at that time that were, perfect for his system. And then he had like the Player of the Year in Donnie that was just a monster of a goal scorer
He was a great target nine.
Yes.
He held onto that ball and it allowed them to possess the way they wanted to. And it was mixed in with these little Hispanic players that are so crafty with the ball, with pace. They had everything that year.
Yeah, and I could say,
Penalty
there's
kick.
your penalty kick.
Have we not learned from this official? I mean, the coaches are like, he's calling everything in the box. Stay on your feet. Don't overextend.
Especially in that position. And again, I don't know if the Perry player that committed that foul, if you end up listening to this and learning from this, the attacker was dribbling away from the goal. Just stand him up in that moment. drive them into the space that they're trying to get to. And you can even give them a little bit of space because they're going away from the goal. Kind of reestablish yourself as a defender. Put yourself in the right position. Get your footwork right, but don't dive in the corners of the box. There's really no, I mean, you're not really, even if you win that ball, you're really not giving yourself a position to do anything with it. But in that moment, can you give that forward a chance to play negative? And here he is. Oh, the goalkeeper had a hand on it, but just couldn't keep it away.
And if you're going to take a penalty kick, hit it.
Hit it. Yes.
Make your decision and hit it. So, especially in this case where the goalkeeper actually came up big and got a hand on it. But if you don't put that kind of pace on the ball, the keeper makes a save.
.21. And that was Derek Coppage on the goal. That is, again, that's senior Derek Coppage. And again, Derek is another player that came from MLS Next, didn't play last year, returned to the team this year.
And it's different taking a penalty kick versus some club filled with,
yes, it is.
Just some parents watching, but in a stadium format as we're here today, it's different. It's a different kind of pressure. And I've been there. I've taken penalty kicks in front of a couple thousand people at Shadow Mountain High School, mainly because Mike Bibby was playing there and the basketball game ended early and they all came to our game. But it was a lot, and we had to take penalty kicks in front of the entire basketball crowd that came in because we went to double overtime. I remember it was against Horizon High School. It was a big game, and we had the band. We had everything. They just showed up and appeared, but what a cool moment for me and all my teammates back then. Luckily, we won, and I didn't miss.
Luckily.
Yep, because I would have lost a lot of sleep.
We are just at about 6 minutes, and it has been an eventful first half here in Ahwatukee. 2-2, 2 penalty kicks.
Are we in Ahwatukee or Tempe?
We are in Ahwatukee. Technically Phoenix. This is Ahwatukee. But we are in the Tempe Union School District.
Okay.
And it looks like we've got an injured player. Maybe there's maybe it was either a head injury or something to do with maybe. But Max Trickle for Perry High School has been taken off the field, and the referee asked for the trainer to come over. Maybe because it was a head injury. It's typically why the referee would stop the game and a dead ball restart. And look at this kid's drop kick. Goalie for the Desert Vista is going to be Kagan Terrell. That is dangerous.
It'll be fun to watch if Desert Vista is able to do a counter quickly with that drop punt.
Yes.
And his last punt went 3/4 of the field, and I think he still didn't get all of it.
Right. Kind of.
It was a little high, but you can tell if he hits it flush, it's gonna
take off. Yeah,
it could go
that's
18
for sure.
to 18 is my guess. Oh, and good job by the official recognizing that. Sometimes you get caught up in the game and watch where the ball goes versus paying attention to contact after the kick.
Yeah, you can definitely see that a lot.
It's smart. Trust your ARs to see the rest of the field for you, because typically they're not going to call it. The ARs aren't going to call any fouls that are around the officials. Kind of his job if he's there.
That wasn't a bad idea there. Serve that ball in. I think he just hit it a little bit too direct, but you could see the distance that was between Perry's back line and the goalkeeper. Again, like one of the characteristics of this referee, he's not allowing. He's calling body contact fouls, and again, if the minimum amount of body contact while players are kind of leg fighting, he's calling that, and I think that's going to be a point of emphasis as at halftime, perhaps for the coaches to say, "Hey guys, let's not put ourselves in a compromising position." But at the same point, how do you allow your players to still want to stay aggressive? Because it is an aggressive sport.
And I might be seeing it a little bit different. I think if he's letting contact happen when they're in tight, it's the contact that's coming from a distance. So if they're like, there's contact, but they're there. But it's when they make contact from a distance. That's pretty obvious. And I think it's hard to do it from on the field. It's so much easier to be an official
where we're at
from here. And I think that's where the game needs to go. But I think he's doing a great job. I love how the official's talking to the players, even when the ball's out, to kind of explain this is why I called it, and it kind of gets the players kind of like, okay, let's get back to the game. Communication skills by official are huge. And of course, the fans are never happy.
No. That's offsides. Just a nick offsides. He was asking for the ball to play it. That's going to be,
Who's
again,
21?
21 is going to be the senior for Desert Vista, Derek Coppage.
Wow, that kid is very intelligent. I love how he brought the ball down with his chest. Most players will just head it forward. Yep. He actually had the awareness of recognizing the space in pretty much his defensive third, and just saw the space, brought it down with his chest, and then took all that space. Unlucky on the offsides.
Yeah, we're 30 seconds into left in the first half. You got Jacoby Franklin with his 6th throw-in of the game. Here's an opportunity. Slipped through the goalkeeper's hands. Just missed it on the back post. Another golden opportunity for the Pumas. We're going to probably bring this into the end of our first half. And it will. So, halftime score 2-2 for Desert Vista, Perry Pumas. We're going to step aside for 10 minutes. We've got some halftime content for you all, and look forward to seeing you back here in 10 minutes. Stick around. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the live stream of the Soft Red Podcast. We are at Desert Vista High School in Ahwatukee, Arizona, with the Desert Vista Thunder and the Perry Pumas tied at halftime. 2-2. We've had 2 penalty kick goals, 2 goals through the run of play. And again, my partner, national championship coach David Cameron, suggested 3 things during the first half. Whoa, there's a head collision there. The 3 things Coach Cameron suggested was the athleticism and speed of both teams, the referee and how he's slowly impacting the games, and then finally, long throws. And I think he's been 100% correct on all those, which has led to, he said, lots of goals. And so far, we've had 4 goals today in the first half. We're probably going to see, I'm going to say 1 or 2 more this second half. I think the coaches on both sides are talented enough to be able to say, hey, these are the smart adjustments I'd make. Coach Cameron, anything that you would say at halftime in terms of both sides?
I would say it would be very similar to both programs. Please stand up the players in your box. Don't put the goalkeeper at risk. 2 fouls, 2 penalty kicks at the edge of a non-dangerous area. And the commitment to go through or make a tackle, even though it might have been justified and you didn't foul in your perception, this official is calling it. So stand them up, give your goalkeeper a chance. That'd be one of the main things I'd be saying. Other than that, I like the build-up on both sides. I like the attack on both sides. I think the throw-ins for Perry's very dangerous. I think Desert Vista's finding great counters and breaking the lines with the pace that they have. But what a great game to watch. I love goals, and it's good to see the action going back and forth. And the goalkeeping's excellent as well. The goalkeepers on each side on the penalty kicks got a hand on it. Just the ones that were taking the penalty kicks hit it well, hard enough to make sure the goalkeeper couldn't be a factor, even though they guessed the right way.
Yeah. And speaking of goals, Perry Puma's first goal came from a penalty kick here's another opportunity for Desert Vista, and he calls a 3rd penalty kick here.
I love this guy. The drama's there. I love watching penalty kicks, and it's a great situation. If you're the goalkeeper and you're the parents of this goalkeeper from Perry, you're excited. Your son gets an opportunity to have an experience to develop their game. If you want true development, you want this for your child. Yeah, it might suck they get scored on, but experience is experience, and it's huge. So, mom, dad, be excited. Your son's going to get better. And the same goes for the one taking the penalty kick.
Yes. And speaking of taking the penalty kick, we're trying to get a number here. I believe it's number 8, Kamani Grant.
Yes.
Right up the middle. There's your 3-2 score line.
And he read it well. He studied the goalkeeper's tendencies from the previous penalty kick and noticed the goalkeeper was moving early and kind of stutter-stepped his run, allowed the goalkeeper to pick his side and start diving that direction before he simply placed it right in the middle.
Yep.
A great read by Desert Vista.
And we are barely 50 seconds into the second half.
And more goals to come.
More goals to come. I said one or two more. I don't know. Obviously, I think you took the over.
I really didn't place it, and I swore I was going to say, I bet there's going to be 4 more.
If there's 4 more, I'll buy you dinner tonight.
Well, now 3 more, because the game hasn't suggested anything else. It's up and back. Both teams are getting opportunities. And they're committing a lot of numbers forward, which is great.
Oh, that's almost the 4th goal for Desert Vista. Again, just before that penalty kick was given, I was going to say Perry's both goals coming off of 1 goal off of a throw-in, 1 goal off of a penalty kick, both scored by senior Nick Sedaris. And I'm such a huge fan of the high school game that I love to see the players that chose again that played high school soccer and MLS to come back to high school soccer, because I just think the competition is just so much better when high level players get a chance to impact the game with players that have to step up, have to, again, elevate their game to support the player that, is bringing so much to the table.
We have a question from the audience.
Yes.
Who's in the goal for Desert Vista?
In the goal for Desert Vista is Kagan Terrell, senior goalkeeper. It's Caegen Terrell, Kagan Terrell.
And that question was by Angel Ramirez. And we love questions. If you guys have any questions during this broadcast, please ask them. We'll answer them. It'll help us shape this live stream according to the viewers' expectation, because you're the ones that are allowing us to even do this.
Angel Ramirez, I see what you're doing there. Angel played for me at Corona del Sol. I believe Angel was a 2015 graduate. And again, Angel, let me know if I'm wrong on that. I believe it was a 2015 graduate, Angel Ramirez. Angel is a local goalkeeping coach, I believe, for Arsenal. Angel bounced around a few community colleges around here, and again, thanks for following Coach Ramirez.
He called you Sal.
Sal, yeah, Sal.
Is that
I don't know that there's some kids
Coach Sal.
Coach Sal, yeah. I think I don't know if there's students at my high school that know my last name is Salas, but Sal is usually just the short, so it's stuck with me. I don't mind it. I hope it's a name of endearment rather than anything else.
Class of 2015.
I was correct. I never forget players that had a full commitment to the soccer program at Corona del Sol. Angel was one of them. From the time he was there, it was a full commitment, and that commitment was not always easy. That commitment was year-round. That commitment was it was not only to the program, but it was to the teammates, to your fellow every player in the program. You were committed to making better. So I appreciate that, Angel.
And here's the game changer.
Yeah, the game changer, the throw-in, Jacoby Franklin.
It's such a weapon if things aren't going well, you can introduce the throw-in. If you want to get the opposition in the off balance or disrupt their rhythm, these throw-ins do it.
That's a great point. It's the equalizer. You could sit in And again, Jeff Perry, that was a head coach at Gilbert, now he's a head coach at Glendale. For so many years, I think Jeff Perry had decent talent at Gilbert High School. But Jeff Perry always had two things: a player that could throw it far and set plays. I mean, you could sit there and just bombard them with pressure and skill and possession. They'd get a throw in 30 yards away, bang, there's your goal. They didn't have any pressure the entire game, and the next thing you know, there's your throw in, bang, you're up one, down one, or tied it up.
In my opinion, they're worse than corner kicks. I'd rather have a
corner kick.
I'd rather have a
Yes.
corner kick or a set play that's on the ground but not throw-ins.
They're so unpredictable.
They are. They're more consistent.
Oh, boy. Yes. More consistent on the attack, less consistent defending because you don't know where it's going. Here's a great opportunity here for the Thunder. And a fourth goal. That's scored by number 10, Ian Habawe. 4-2, Desert Vista Thunder over the Perry Pumas. Coach, at the start of the game, this is not how I thought this game was going to go. You are 2 goals away from dinner tonight.
And I will take you up on it.
Oh, my gosh.
There's a taco stand not too far from here. But what a great buildup. They got to the byline. They found when they're placed on the 18 and moved the ball strategically around the box as Perry was dropping and allowed an open shot, open goal.
And if anybody was at the Open State Championship last year, Ian Habawe had one of the nastiest penalty kicks I have ever seen in Arizona high school soccer. And again, from 2003 is when I arrived onto the Arizona high school scene. And I've been through so many shootouts. I've watched them. I'm such a fan of the high school game here in Arizona. And I believe it was the fourth or fifth kick for Desert Vista. And Ian took his time from midfield, walking almost deliberately slow, and walks up to the ball, sets it down, almost waits for that dramatic pause, and then gives a Panenka. Just an absolute, and just turned around like no big deal. I mean, the pressure of a state championship meant nothing to that boy. Nothing. I even said, I think on air, that was ghastly to do that at a state championship.
It's a lot of confidence built by whoever coached him to do that, or he learned it on his own watching TV. When you know what the goalkeeper's going to do, because you've seen it a lot of the times, it builds up such confidence. I remember when I took a shootout goal in indoor, and I was a rookie, but a veteran, Terry Woodbury, who's 9 years older than me, showed me how he did his penalty kick. So I copied it, but he explained it in such detail. It was just a simple double step over, and he goes, once you step over once, it's a feint. The keeper's going to go one direction, and then you step over again. The keeper's going to go the opposite direction, and the force that's created from swinging your body left to right, they're not going to be able to go back the other way. It's not possible. And the way he explained it gave me the confidence to do it. And I remember doing that in front of 8,000 people at America West Arena,
with the Arizona Swarrows.
No, Arizona Sand Sharks.
Sand Sharks.
Yeah.
Dang,
so
missed it.
Yeah, America West Arena is now United, wherever the Suns play.
Yeah.
It helped that it was a brand new arena in 1997. But I would have never in a million years have taken that if he didn't build the confidence in explaining to me in detail. So I think that is probably what happened.
Oh, he just missed the second goal of the game. Number 8, Kamani Grant. A beautiful ball served in by Ian.
What I am noticing on the adjustment at Desert Vista, and they did this from the very beginning, they're stretching the game a bit. They're trying to find the space with their 9, who's number 8, and try to find them in deeper channels, which is creating a lot of space, which contributed to the penalty kick, and I think contributed to them playing a pattern play around the box because they kept dropping because they were stretching the field. So Desert Vista made an amazing adjustment to kind of stretch Perry a bit to create some off balance that's allowing them to be more effective. And what I think Perry needs to start doing is when they were effective, they were finding the midfield play. And they're open if they can build through their midfield and their targets, especially with this official that's calling a lot when people are on your back. I would keep finding your targets, whether the 3 forwards up front or your 10s, to create a foul situation, or if you're able to turn, that's where they're really can be more effective in finding those final passes, breaking
that
lines.
Last opportunity.
And there you go. He's just going to call it. So play that game. Play the post-up game. It'll get you up the field. Great job by Desert Vista recognizing the spacing and where the numbers are in their favor. And Perry's overloading wherever the ball is, and it's putting them at risk on the sidelines. And Desert Vista wasn't doing that in the first half. They weren't stretching.
Correct.
And I think that is a great observation and execution by Desert Vista.
And number 21 for Perry continues to take the majority of their set plays. And that's Colton Crawford. Between Jacoby Franklin and Crawford, just sending balls in.
And being down 2 goals, I think it would make more sense to play quicker. They're very technical side. They're able to build. I think they need to catch Desert Vista sleeping and maybe play it short, get a little closer, and then have a service. But it's only so much slowing of the game you can do when you're down by 2.
Correct. And again, even these set plays, which are obviously throw-ins, but take the throw-in faster. Don't allow Desert Vista to regroup here. Don't allow, whether if it's a set play on the ground or the throw-ins, let's get it off quickly. Good play by that goalkeeper.
Yeah, and
that's a pressure situation there on the goalkeeper for sure.
Well, he's seen the throw, 7-8 times now?
Easily. And if they can counterattack here, and he just missed it with the outside of his
And bringing
foot.
it to your point, I think it's imperative that they change it up with going quicker, kind of catch them sleeping, because they're used to this slow buildup, and maybe kind of change it up where you're appearing like you're going to slow things down to set up. Just go fast. Can't be the same. It's too obvious.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad outlet or a pass for Perry. I think that's where you're going to catch Desert Vista.
And here's another opportunity on goal from Desert Vista. That's Diego Mendoza. And Diego, in the first half, he had a couple opportunities. Kind of sneaky dangerous Diego has been tonight. goes maybe unnoticed a little bit, but he puts himself, I've noticed, like 4 or 5 times he's put himself in space where Desert Vista has found him. We're going to have a clock stoppage here. I'm not sure for what.
Looks like the official's just trying to settle them down. Good conversation.
It did escalate for a second in the first half. Desert Vista was screaming for a penalty kick. They thought their player was wrongfully tackled in the box. Referee didn't give it. I would say maybe 45 seconds later, there was a little questionable challenge by Desert Vista that didn't get called. That led to a little hullabaloo. And he settled it down.
I enjoyed it. And
yeah, he did.
Props to the official to manage that. I love the intensity of them competing. I think it's important to have that kind of passion minus punches being thrown.
Here's Diego Mendoza again.
I would have liked to see Perry kind of, when you have change of possession in the back line, to make a more emphasis of keeping possession. Just kicking it forward is not going to help you get the results that you're needing at this time.
And again, I think that might be something they'll learn throughout this season. Again, as you said at the beginning of the game, a lot of these players are getting to know each other a little bit. The coaches are getting to know the tendencies of the players, maybe certain combinations of players that work, that don't work. And here's number 4 for Desert Vista here on the ball. Again, Dallin Ware given an opportunity here for the Desert Vista Thunder on another corner kick. But again, Coach Burr, Coach Elliott, they know enough of this high school soccer game to be able to say, hey, listen, guys, these are the things that we got to cut down on and develop a little bit more courage to do. There's a stoppage of play. As
stoppage on the clock.
Dallin Ware is down. This athletic trainer is getting her workout tonight.
And it's pretty cool outside, so it was that a cramp? We have a cramp. See, I would like the game to evolve a little bit. If there's a cramp situation, play on, let the trainers come on and tend to them while the game's going. It's a battle of fitness, right? So if you're in a situation your kids aren't cramping and they are, so be it. Play on. Unless they become part of the play, they could hold the offsides line.
Yeah.
But I say play on.
Coach, I have to admit, in my my coaching career, I've used the cramp. Oh, and there's a goal. Desert Vista. 5-2. And that is the second goal for number 21 of Desert Vista. Derek Coppage, what an addition to Desert Vista. Playing his freshman year, coming back as a senior 2 years away. What an impact this young man has had on Desert Vista.
And that was a great service, just to put it in the mix where there's a lot of numbers, and set pieces are dangerous. And I don't think the score line is indicative of the difference of level. I think it's pretty even. It's just Desert Vista is home, and they're putting the ball away, and it looks like Perry's making a goalkeeper change. To give experience to another goalkeeper for Perry.
Well, I had a chance to be down on the field for the during the pregame, and the the one thing that I did notice, and again, this is unfortunate, but Ryan Gregory broke his nose going one-on-one, and so he does have a mask on. And I don't know if that's affecting his ability to catch those high balls, to judge those high balls. Again, I've never worn a mask. I've broken my nose twice, but I've never worn the mask.
It wouldn't be fun, but here we go with the long throw, and that's probably not the worst thing to do, right?
Because it does stretch them out. It has to bring them out. And you've got to find some space within that Desert Vista back line. They did at the beginning of the match, like you said, but Desert Vista's tightened it up. And again, through coaching, through communication, and here's an opportunity again. These are the things that stretch out a tough back line, is getting the ball wide, stretching them out.
And that's what Perry needs to keep doing. They need to find that sequence of passes that is through the middle as Desert Vista drops off, because they're holding a lead. They're going to drop off with numbers. So finding those in-between passes versus stretching the back line, it can be more effective at times.
And I definitely think, I'm watching, we've called, this is our third game now that we've called, and here's another stoppage. There's an injured player for Desert Vista on the far sideline. But going into the 3 games we've called Brophy versus Hamilton. Brophy beats Brophy beats Hamilton 3-1. We've called Mesa versus Pinnacle, and now we're at Desert Vista and Perry. These are fantastic programs, and so far, I mean, each one of these 6 teams we've seen has a chance to go far into the state tournament. Quality coaching, quality athleticism, quality soccer IQs throughout.
And you'll notice the development of players. When Brophy was playing Hamilton, Brophy was all over him. I think they get up 2-0 quickly, and in the second half, Hamilton found their way to make it more competitive, scoring a goal. Ended up being 3-1 Brophy, but Hamilton got better during the game, and it's because of the competition and had a crowd. It had a lot of things going on, taking all the Wi-Fi, but
you and your Wi-Fi, love it.
Well, it is, and
it is.
And if you guys, anyone out there that wants us at their high school game, message Dan Salas, and you can do that right through his YouTube channel. Or do you have Instagram yet?
I do. It's at the Soft Red Podcast. DM me.
Yeah, DM Coach Salas, and we'll get over there. There is some requirements. We're going to require a cable modem, hookup versus Wi-Fi, because that thing makes it a little sketchy as far as our ability to really produce a show. But we'd love to be part of your high school experience if it makes sense for you and makes sense for us as far as being able to broadcast.
Yeah. And we are looking for a possible game. And I don't know what the Wi-Fi is going to be like at the Arizona Holiday Tournament that plays at Arizona Sports Grounds, I called ASG. Mm-hmm. That's where the most teams are going to be at, and I believe that happens December 27th to the 31st. So it's a 4 or 5 day tournament. I'll have to double check and get back to you. If anybody knows and has that information right away, that's a possibility. But our next scheduled broadcast or stream is going to be Hamilton at Mesa.
And we know Mesa.
Yep. Oof. And that's going to be January 16th. There's a possibility of we'll have to see
it's
what
good internet connection.
Yeah, and
at
Mesa, and we'll have to see again what the situation. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Yeah, I think our next Besides that, we're considering going to see Sunnyside at Tucson January 9th. There we go. Someone got back to me. I believe it was, let me see. Jamie Nicewander got back to me. He's watching the podcast right now. I appreciate that.
But a high school I'd like to live stream is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this
Verado? So Verado High School is starting really well, and they have a lot of talent, a lot of juniors that can absolutely play. And Randy Watkins is the head coach over there. I coached his son, Mike Watkins, at Phoenix College a year ago. But Randy does a great job with Verado and has a lot of talent over there. I'm excited about watching them play. They're in a tournament. I think it's the Independence. I'll be out there recruiting for Phoenix College.
I'm sorry. Correction. I believe this is, I'm sorry, I think it's Tim Vance, the head coach from Hamilton, is listening to the stream right now, Coach. This is fantastic. So, yes, it is Arizona Athletic Grounds, December 26, 27, 29, 30th. And so if we can get out there, there's a chance. Thanks, Coach. And like I said, if January 9th to get to Tucson, I did get a chance to speak with Casey from Sunnyside, and he said that Tucson is a good side. They're going to be strong this year. So getting to that one, I know Sunnyside is strong, Tucson is strong, San Luis is strong. Those southern schools, again, definitely represent throughout the school year, and they're always tough.
You know what we could do is from these live streams and from our networking within the high school is bring the high school all-star game back.
Yes,
we could host that
100%.
We could host at Phoenix
100%.
College and really showcase some of the top talent in Arizona with a combination of recommendations from the coaches we know through AIA and from what we see.
Coach, I think if we did something through the Soft Red podcast along with reaching out to anybody that here's an opportunity here, he's onside, reaching out to anybody that would like to sponsor that game. And we could really do it right in terms of that coverage that the top players deserve, and that little extra carrot. There is another drop kick,
and that was more leveled out, and that was very well hit. And that's a dangerous play, especially if it's a counter situation where everyone's in the box on a set piece or something, and you have one forward up there. That's a breakaway. But back to what you're saying, as far as a sponsor, yeah, I think it would be. I think the jerseys they just wear. We do one team in their uniform white, and then their white, and
their
then
homes.
the homes,
their away kit,
and then the home kits, the darks.
The darks.
We can put on one team, and then we don't have to worry about that. It's just more of getting the officials paid for facility. I can get that co-sponsorship and get that probably for free since it's a community event. And it'd be easy to get the new Grand Canyon staff whenever that gets put in place, all the universities that are throughout Arizona to all be part of it and really showcase those players.
Nice save
Nice
on that
grab.
goalkeeper, yeah.
I just know how happy the clubs would be with. And maybe you do it like the same weekend as the state finals, where kind of like they do with the NFL bowl game, the ones in the Super Bowl, they're just playing the Super Bowl, and then everyone else has an opportunity to play in the All-Star game. But you would have to do it pretty early.
Pretty early.
And maybe it'd be cool. Is it possible to do it as a mid-year thing? You know what I'm like? If it was every January, where it's not affecting anyone's play, and we had an opportunity to showcase those players during the season. I don't know if that's allowed.
I would hesitate as a coach, because if my player gets hurt, then
but
because these guys are these going to be your top players moving at top speed.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I think I would hesitate from. But I think if again, coaches, if you're there's a stoppage of play here, coaches, if you're out there and you have an opinion, DM me, and we can get that conversation and that dialogue started. 100%. That is
And high school is technically all year round, right? So could you do an all-star game, say, in May during the week, not a weekend, but like on a Wednesday where it's not interfering with games is scheduled
club
with
games, correct?
Club games.
And I think what I would try to do is you could even, again, we can talk about this dialogue at all, but what would be the ideal time frame to host that? Could it be during spring break, March, or are there too many tournaments? But you don't want to compete with the club tournaments, but you do want, again, maybe during the week, a Wednesday that you really showcase. Here's an opportunity here. There's a shot on goal, just wide left. And that is senior, number 21. Colton Crawford. He's been effective all night. Colton is he's a real fiery player. You can tell his aggressive style, but again, he's got that dangerous left foot.
And he just might have had the keeper beat because the keeper was moving quickly, didn't lay out for it. But if it was 6 inches more inside, it might have hit that pole and went in.
Yeah. We are just under 13 minutes here, and Desert Vista has opened this one up with a 5-2 scoreline. We are 2-2 at halftime. And again, just the right adjustments in spacing, adjustments in a little bit of the approach that Trent Elliott imposed onto his Thunder side.
What year is 21?
21 is a junior.
He has good pace about him. He's all over the place.
He kind of reminds me of, oh my gosh, he's number 24 on your team on Phoenix College. Speedy guy, plays up top on the right side.
Freddie?
No.
Sergio?
No. 24 is his number. Landon Vree.
Oh, Landon, yeah.
Landon Vree.
Scored the game winner against Pima in the semifinals. Yeah. Crazy pace.
And he's got just enough technique behind it. Just enough.
He can finish.
Yep.
And he makes that run to the back post every time. It's just not even a question about it. He will get there.
It's a good shot on goal. Just a little. You got to take that shot, but he's a little bit out of that gentleman's range. And again, Desert Vista has done a great job of settling into the character of this match, settling into not getting feisty enough to get themselves in trouble in that quagmire that was about 3 or 4 minutes long, where it was 3 corner kicks in a row. And again, the intensity, the contentiousness of the game could have went either way. And Desert Vista had enough mind to them to say, hey, listen, let's stay the course here, not lose it. Because it could have gone that way very easy. The high school mentality.
And it's a game of you can't call timeouts.
You cannot call timeout.
And I'm pretty confident Coach Berg would love to have a timeout first 10 minutes of the game to make some adjustments, because it's hard to really, communicate your message during a game, and the players are trying to pay attention to many other things. So many distractions are happening. So that's why I say nothing. I'll say it at halftime. Luckily, we get a water break at college for the ACCAC. That allows us to talk to the players and make adjustments. It's valuable.
That 23-minute water break.
It's valuable, and if
you use it appropriately,
you definitely got to use it and be prepared to make adjustments. It's hard. Of course, with unlimited subs, you can make adjustments that way, and that's why I love doing the mass 10 for 10 sub. So it's like a timeout. You get to talk to your team one while team two's on the field, and that's a huge advantage. But I had the numbers.
And into this second half, I don't know if Jacoby Franklin is injured. I know right away on that first penalty kick, he did take a knock to his left, to one of his ankles, it seemed like. Oh, that was close, like almost a handball.
And that's what I was saying in the first half. You're mentioning it, like he was everywhere. Yeah. He covered every corner of the field in the first 15 minutes of the match. And
you did say it.
I would say, how long can you do that? Like managing the
output.
Pace of the game. Yeah, managing the output. And that's not easy when you're young. And I remember being young and I had energy. I was going to use it versus trying to pace myself for the moments that I needed to do. But if he could have maintained that pace, that's professional level. And it's all about consistency, and if you're able to be consistent with that kind of pace, he'd be gone. He'd be in Europe or at some
academy,
some doctor office trying to do a science on how is this kid able to run like this. But he was the buzz. He was the in the first half. He was the problem child.
Diego Mendoza, coach. I told you about Diego in this. Serves it across. Diego Mendoza is again one of those kids that you're just kind of saying, wait a second, where did he come from? And he just sneaky enough where all of a sudden it snaps and you're like, whoa, wait a second, we're down a goal. Diego Mendoza.
And he's a junior, right?
Diego Mendoza. Let me check my roster here for everybody. Diego's a senior. Yeah, and Diego's another one that is back from the MLS. Yeah. We got a couple substitutions into the match, and Desert Vista has central forward, number 1, Ty Larson, senior. And, Coach Trent Elliott did, mention that there's a number of players that for Desert Vista that come into the match tonight, and that played in the game last year. And the one thing that he continues to implore to this roster is, you can't come in thinking that this is another state championship is just going to happen. There were so many strong characteristics of that championship team from last year that they have to work for and work and work. It's not just going to come with just because Desert Vista is on their chest. It's not going to come just because they're on the field. You got to work and you got to win your duels. You got to be resilient to being down 1 goal, 2 goals, and coming back. And there's so much more growth that this team needs to go through to be that state championship team. The talent is there, no doubt, but again, it's that emotional maturity. It's those experiences. I know I hear you talking about so often. It's that you got to build on these things. And again, I think a young team, sophomore teams. Here's another opportunity. And again, good save by the goalkeeper. He called a foul, referee. But just, again, that growth that this roster has to experience.
And it's going to be exciting watching all these teams from everyone we covered, from Brophy, Hamilton, now Desert Vista, Perry, Mesa. there's pinnacle. They're all going to find each other again and again, and it's going to be intriguing to see what adjustments the coaches make or the individual players make. I guarantee there's players that are just not healthy tonight just because of the amount of games between MLS Next and the amount of tournament games that are heavily played in the early parts of high school season. But I like the soccer I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot better than it's been.
Interesting decision there on the goalkeeper. And again, you got another young player, sophomore Miles Edinger, checked into the game for Desert Vista at central midfield there.
And that happens. It happens at all levels. Even goalkeeping at PC, our goalkeeper, All-American, didn't allow a goal at Nationals, got in some trouble situations because he didn't make quick enough decisions and gets stuck in those situations where there's a lot of numbers and you probably should have played it early, and then before you know it, you're stuck and you have to find a way out. That's normal. You just have to recognize, okay, I was in this situation. It's going to happen again. What adjustments do I make? And that's individual coaching. That's your reflection, and also the coaches on the sideline to help him recognize those moments. Not hide from them, recognize them. They're real, and how to not repeat it.
Yeah, but here's Diego Mendoza again, back on the ball. Good defending.
And way to wait till he was out of the box before going for the ball.
That's been the storyline here tonight. Questionable decisions on defenders has led to 3 penalty kicks.
And a big credit to the young referee. I don't even know who that is. I haven't seen him before. But great job making the decision and sticking with it. He made the decision. He went with it. How many officials do we see that are so scared to call a penalty kick because they don't want to affect the game that way? You're not affecting the game. The players are affecting the game. You have to make those decisions. Call a ton of penalty kicks. If you see it as a penalty kick, call it. Don't second guess yourself. Go with your first instinct, and it tends to be correct. 3 penalty kicks, loving it. I want more because it's drama. It's pressure. That's what makes the game exciting.
Yeah, and another impacting sophomore for Desert Vista tonight is number 6, Jude Sparacco. And again, Desert Vista has 7 sophomores with meaningful minutes. Coach Trent Elliott is trying.
The red card has been pulled. The ball hit the referee, and his red card flew out of his pants.
Oh, I thought it was. I missed it. I was like, wait a second. I didn't see it. Wait a second, Coach.
And it was handed back by a Desert Vista player.
We're just under a minute here at Desert Vista High School.
I caught you off guard there.
Yeah, you did.
The red card's been pulled.
I was looking at stats. Here's an opportunity. Desert Vista's going to get probably the last.
And most likely a goal if they go for it, because I get dinner. Let's go.
I knew you were going to say it.
30 seconds.
We got 30 seconds. Coach Cameron is imploring the Thunder.
All you can eat tacos.
Smash it.
All right, bring the keeper up. Everybody.
All you can eat tacos, courtesy of the Soft Red Podcast. Oh, no, the tacos are safe.
Oh, wait. Foul. Stop the clock. Stop the clock. Come on, ref.
No, he's not going to do it.
Go fast. Which is smart by Desert Vista. Like, you don't want to rub it in because you're going to face each other one more time.
That'll do it here from Desert Vista High School. We've got a Thunder victory. Scoreline 5-2 over the Perry Pumas. On behalf of everyone involved tonight, including my uncle, Louis San Giorgio. There he is. We're live here if I can get on. My uncle's been the cameraman for the last 3 games. And, again, I appreciate him so much. But, again, a big thank you goes out to both coaches, Trent Elliott, Desert Vista, Jason Berg from Perry. And, again, my partner here, David Cameron.
We're getting a little bit better. A little bit.
Game to game. So if you enjoyed the broadcast, the stream, head over to the Soft Red Podcast YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. And, again, leave any comments, any personal messages you want to, suggestions for the stream, and we'll be sure to respond to that. But until then, next time, we look forward to seeing you again. I'm Dan Salas for the Soft Red Podcast. So long, everybody.
Good night.